What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Free Spirit Tarot. I am Poetry. Today we are continuing on my 78-part series where I will be walking through each and every tarot card of the Rider Waite Tarot decks to tell you or show you how I read intuitively. What I'm doing is looking at the cards to see what the characters themselves are doing, what direction they may be facing, any supporting characters that are in the cards with them, the atmosphere behind them, just to give us how I pull out information when I do my readings on this channel. If you've ever been on this channel and watched any of my readings, you will notice that I use multiple decks when I do readings. So when I do that, it's a possibility you may get the same card pop up in one reading. And I wanted to show you how each card from different types of decks can still give you different interpretations when you're an intuitive reader. Most of these decks come with guidebooks inside those. I normally don't use the guidebooks unless I get absolutely stuck or just baffled on what this card could possibly mean for the creator. And then I will lean on that in the reading itself. We've already done the Fool's Journey. Again, we're moving on throughout the entire deck, all 78 cards. And we're now on the Magician. This is the second time that I'm starting this series. So there is an already segment on this channel with the Magician card. You can go back and look at that as well. And you can see what I may have changed as far as what I see when I look at these cards. The only one that appeared in that original deck was the Everyday Witches Tarot. So why I have them laid out here, this is Barbara Moore's Wizard Tarot. This is Melanie Marquis, Modern Spellcasters Tarot. This one here is Deborah Blake, Everyday Witch Tarot. Gregory Scott Tarot. And then Barbara Moore again, Good Fortune Tarot. I seem to have a thing for Barbara Moore decks. I truly like those, and the fact that she uses different illustrators, which each deck she puts out gives you a different vibe, a different feel, a different message of what's going on as well. So if you're interested in the series, please stick around, like the video, comment, because I love interacting with you all here. Share the video if you choose to do so. If you wish to collaborate, just send me a link for me to collaborate with you on your channel, and then we can combine forces. And also, I think that's it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Always subscribe to the channel so that way you can be notified on what everything is going on this channel. I do actual readings, intuition, some pick a card readings, some very themed readings, zodiac readings. I have a various of readings here. They're not very consistent yet, but I'm getting back into my groove. And I will also be going through the tarot decks and oracle decks that I actually own that I have not already presented on this channel. I don't intend on buying anything new as of right now. All right, so if this is interesting to you, go ahead and stick around. And I'm also going to be learning some other systems of reading as well on this channel. I started with the Lenormand. I'm on the third video for that one as well, so we can continue on and you can grow with me. All right. I apologize. My camera may have moved slightly. It is directly in between my legs, and I keep hitting the stand, so I apologize if the lens is shaky. All right, so let's start off with the Magician. When I see the Magician, I see this as a very busy card. There's so much going on. It's so much that you have to look at to figure out what exactly is the message. And I think that is part of the message. The Magician is always busy. He's always got something in his bag, always trying to figure out the next big move, the next trick for him to do. And sometimes it makes me not trust the Magician. Now, let me start off first by saying the Fool's Journey in the first 22 cards of the major arcana, I typically don't fully grasp the idea of the Fool's Journey. And it's because of, it's supposed to be depicting a story from naivety to maturity. It is the best way for me to explain it. And there's a lot of where the cards position themselves in this journey it's almost as if he's walking before he's crawling. So I don't really connect with the journey itself. So sometimes it makes it hard for me to really see what the true vision may be if I go from like the fool to the magician. Is he encountering a magician, or is he himself becoming a magician because he has to assimilate to the different areas that he's venturing into, the different people that he may meet along the way? Is he gaining identity at this point? So that's one of the things that I always was confused with, or not really confused with, but teeter back and forth with, is if this is the fool's journey, and these are the people that he's meeting along the way, or these are the people that he's become. Have you ever seen the Game of Thrones and you saw Arya? I would say Arya went on a fool's journey if I look at it in that sense. She started off saying, this is who I wanted to be. She started trying to be molded into that person. And then she went on a journey to find herself. And as a girl who was no one, she became many different things in that journey. If you haven't watched Game of Thrones, go ahead and watch it. It's still one of the best TV series that ever hit TV. Okay, so we start off first with the Wizard Tarot. So this magician here, make sure my ring light doesn't shine too much on it. How do I get that out of there? It's almost impossible. Okay, so the magician in this deck, for some reason, he seems like a seedy character to me. It's something about his face, his facial expression. But he is creating his own energy. I do see that. He's using all the tools that he has. With the tarot, you have the sword, which is knowledge, intellect. You have the wand, which is passion, drive. Then you have the cups, which could be emotional state, Then the pentacles, which could be a sense of grounding or finances. So he has all those tools, and he uses everything he has to manifest what he needs. He's creating his own energy around him. But there's something, like I say, that does not seem to me as to be as honest with this character. One of the terms that I've hear used in the tarot is so is above as it is below, which I don't know, the best way I could describe that was in the Pirates of the Caribbean, when the world got flipped upside down and the ship was sailing upside down on the water when you're looking at it. So everything that's below, everything is like a mirror of itself. But I've always wondered why in this particular deck, he has two staffs. So he has that wand, and this technically could be considered to be a wand in a lot of decks. It appears as if he's either fighting off something or maybe protecting himself or something. But the snake belt around his waist lets me know that he is almost being controlled. The power that he's exerting is coming from a place of false identity. Kind of like, I watch a lot of TV, and y'all finna hear this. I watch Stargate, and in Stargate they have the Goa'uld. They have the little symbiotes that attach to your spine, and you essentially become that person. And the longer that symbiote is a part of you, the person who you truly are starts to disappear. And that's what I see when I see this snake belt around his waist, as if he is being controlled by another force, and that force is what's giving him power. It is not his true identity, it's a false identity. And yeah, so that's what this card gives me if I saw this come up in the reading. He's wearing a red cloak. But if you see, like, a lot of magicians or wizards in movies, they would have a cloak on, and sometimes that cloak symbolizes a power level or a status level. But he's wearing like a floral shirt that does not have matching arms. You see that arm there? He's presenting as almost like a business suit. And this is kind of more leisure, casual style sleeve on this end. And a pair of jeans. So it's clear he's not who he says he is. That's what I see in this particular magician card. That he has the affinity symbol on his hat. I take that as the meaning that he's always thinking. His brain never turns off. He's always trying to figure out a way to do something different, be something different. He would never present himself to be the same person. He's the type of person when they say, oh, you've changed. He changes every day. And that's what I see in this magician. All right, so our next magician from the Modern Spellcasters Tarot. Again, he has a as is above, so is below going on here. He seems to be at a tombstone. There's lightning striking over his head. There's flowers in the vines below him. There's a snake shedding its skin. He has the symbols of the tarot with him. Like I said, the wand is in his hand. The pinnacle stone for grounding is on top of the pillar. The sword is stabbed into it. And then we have the cup for the cups for the emotional things that he has to hold on to. Again, there is a snake around his waistline as well, holding him together. These symbols here, a lot of these symbols, again, I don't really know. They are Wiccan symbols. This Modern Spellcasters Tarot deck is a Wiccan deck. So when I look at this, I see it, again, one of two. Most times I see these cards one of two ways. That he is transforming into a different person. The snake shedding its skin is taking off the old person that he used to be and revealing his new skin. It's been when snakes shed their skin, they rub their bodies up against a branch or a rock to help them out. So it's been a painful process for him. He's older now. He's wiser now. That's just another way that I look at him as well. And then when you think of the sword and the stone, only someone worthy is able to pull that out. But as you can see, it's deeply embedded in there. He hasn't gained all the wisdom that he's trying to obtain yet. Or, when I say I look at this two ways, he's trying to secure that wisdom and try to keep it from anyone else from obtaining it. You see, there's a lot of destruction that happened behind him. It's just probably forced him to transform into this new person. And the snake in this one, I for some reason, I don't really focus on it much as I did in the original one. Like, there's definitely change that's happened. But for some reason, this, to me, is representing that transformative change more so over deceit. But magicians or illusionists, their whole game is to trick you into believing you see something that isn't there. Okay. The magician from the Everyday Witch Tarot, I see her so much more differently than I did the first two. I see this magician being enlightened. I see this magician using all these tools of the tarot to help uplift themselves. They're on a grounding table. I do not see the so is above as below. You could possibly say this hand is a little bit higher than that one, but the other two are specifically pointing to help you identify that below and above. But in her, she's finding more balance. She's using her tools to help manifest her own individual power. And she's freeing her mind, illuminating herself, educating herself. As with the other two, they both were holding on to that wand energy. They had this desire, their passion is what fueled them. In her particular situation, all the tools are on the table together. They're all illuminating together along with her own mentality, along with her own heart. So there's not one particular thing that's more important to this person. This person has a desire to be balanced. And there doesn't seem to be using their magic or their power for trickery or deceit. It's all about gaining what they need to sustain in life, to make them the person that they want to be the shining light for others. You know, they want to illuminate, is a good word to say, their passions. They want to strengthen their bonds with the earth, their finances. They want to keep growing their intellect, you know. They want to be in charge of their emotions. And the power is in their hands. So I don't see the deceit in this. I do see that there's the cat. They have their trusty, what's the word? I can never think of it. Familiar with them. They have their trusty familiar with them. Just thinking by their side. They have a curiosity about life. And that's what that cat represents for me on this particular card. That's probably why I love the Everyday Witch Tarot so much, because it's not the typical message that comes across in this deck. And this deck gives me such beautiful, powerful readings when I read for others. All right, the Gregory Scott Tarot. This magician stumped me for a long time. There's a field of flowers beneath them. The sky is lit up and bright. Again, they do have all the tarot tools, but the one that they find most endearing, or one that they hold to life, is being grounded and being financially sound, having security. That's the thing that I see most important for this particular magician. Their passion is growing. You see their staff is blossomed with all the different flowers. The cup does not seem full, and it's at the base as well. It's two of the things that doesn't mean as much, but he still has them. The wisdom is within his grasp with the sword. The hand is lifted and so is above. There is no so is below, because his hand is not focused on going below. It's actually centering in on his chakras, you know, that I have here. The cherubs are there to signify for me that love is also an important factor. And you see that there's another pinnacle there as well. So like just in this first card, I said there were two staffs or two wands. This one has two sets of pinnacles in this image here, which that's again is telling me that is the most important factor for this magician. And again, it's about enlightening, almost the same as with this magician here, almost the same as the enlightening, but this person has ascended. They're not still trying, they are actively ascending to their great heights, levitating, so to speak. Everything beneath them is good. Everything around them is good. There's no storms in these clouds. The daisies in the fields are plentiful. His connection with his spirituality is at a place that he could take on life. He could take on the world. He can rise above anything. And he's young. He's not necessarily an old character. He's new to this. But that means he has so much more room to grow. Okay. And our last magician, the Good Fortune Tarot. It's crazy to me that this is the Good Fortune Tarot. And when I look at this magician, I see trickery. I see illusion. But I also see a fun time. This person always has a bag of tricks next to them. You never know what they're going to pull out of the bag. They appear to have the universe in their hands. They have the ability to juggle a lot of different situations. So not only do they have the tools of the tarot with the sword and the wand and the pentacles and the cups, they also have their own tools that they brought to the table. They have the dice. They have the deck of cards, which I was going to say there was 3-card Molly, but there's 4 cards there. They have the cups, that you hide the ball under. I forgot what that game is called. And it's all about illusion and making good of what you have. Also, not necessarily making good of what you have, but being able to give off the illusion that he can be trusted. Give off the illusion that you know what you're doing. And most magicians do know what they're doing. They have a skill set that the average person don't understand. Like, I love magicians. I'm going to tell you that right now. Magicians, I love going to magic shows. And I know a lot of people be like, well, how did they do that trick? And I may say those words, but I really don't want to know. I want to be fooled. There's this, at this particular time, when I'm there with that magician, I want you to boggle my mind. And that's what this magician here does for me. So he's intriguing. And like I say, because they are presenting an illusion to you, because they are tricking you, it can come off as deceitful. Like saying you never know what they're going to have in their bag, and more tricks and more tricks. But this one draws me in. I want to know what he's going to do next. He may very well still give me the world, give me the stars, the sun, the moon, offer me everything. And it may very well be an illusion, but let me live in it for right now. You know what I'm saying? It may be true. The trick may be so good that I may be completely fooled. You know how, like, when somebody gets hypnotized and they may there's tricks of the trade that they use to help hypnotize somebody to make them stop smoking. Let's just use that as an example. And that may be something that it may very well be an illusion. Your mind has been tricked. Your mind has been manipulated, but you're still getting something good out of it. Your world is changing from that. But you got to be careful of who you are getting that information from. Because of the size of the cup, I'm going to say that the cup and the pentacles, those two, are most important to this magician. Being emotionally sound and being grounded in what you're doing. Because there's not a big dagger, there's not a sword, there's really like a knife. Or that's a dagger. It's not a sword, that's a dagger instead of a big sword. So, and then the wand is just as small as well. They are like equivalent in size to the other tools that he has on his table. He leans more on the emotional side, the cup side, the energy, the flow of information. And the pentacles, being grounded, being one, using the intuition, use the and also being financially sound. Okay. All right, guys, that's what I have for you for the magician. I want to thank y'all for being here with me doing this series, and we'll continue to walk on through all 78 cards. Again, We're just on the Magician. Even though this is number one, it is the second card of this deck. And we'll be going next with the High Priestess. These are some interesting High Priestesses coming up. Oh, I love her. I still love her. We'll be going on with the High Priestess. And again, this is what I'm saying about the Fool's Journey. I individually, when I look at what each card is supposed to mean, I understand those particular cards, but I can't connect his journey fully for myself yet, and how this is a journey. I see these are lessons in life that one may encounter, but again, I'm looking at these as a progression and not just individual things that he may endure. Okay? But anyway, thank y'all so much for being here. Thank y'all for listening. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Peace.